Hey everybody, Matt here with the most adequate collection and a bit of a hockey mood today, especially after this last weekend when our local high school, Moorhead High School Spuds, went to the state hockey championship in Minneapolis. Well, I guess it'd be in St. Paul, but ended up winning the tournament. It'd be the Class AA state championship. It was a pretty exciting time. Wife and I and the kids didn't make it, but we were able to find it on the phone using the app for one of the local Minneapolis stations. So we watched it from the phone, and things were not looking good when we tuned in. We finally figured things out about 15 minutes into the first period, and Moorhead was down 3-0, which is not an insurmountable deficit in hockey. There's still plenty of game left, plenty of time to switch the momentum, to kind of turn things around. Um, take an intermission or two and kind of try and get the wheels back on the cart, so to speak. But we started to stick with the game. It wasn't looking good, but we were going to watch. And about midway through the second period, Moorhead scores. Bring it to a 3-1 deficit now, which is a lot better until Minnetonka, who we were playing against, scored again. So the Minnetonka Skippers were winning 3-1 going into the third period, and it's a little bit more of a challenge then. Not insurmountable still, but certainly more of a challenge. Uh, Third period was still going on. Didn't quite get things going yet. Then about halfway through, Moorhead scores again. 2-4 now, which is a lot better. And things start to pick up. You can kind of see the energy of the boys picking up. Putting a little bit more pressure, kind of believing in themselves a little bit more. Not that they weren't already, but that momentum shift can help out quite a lot. And then good fortune would come again when 3.5 minutes later, Moorhead scores again. Bring things now to 3-4, which is a lot better. Even in high pressure games, sometimes you see different strategies, but Moorhead didn't pull their goaltender, didn't try to put the extra attacker out, and instead just relied on the momentum that they got from that third goal. And it was getting towards the end, looking a little dicey, but then with about 30 seconds left in the third period, the same guy who scored goal number 3 also scored goal number 4. Tied it up. That's where the regulation period would end. We're going into overtime. Now they do overtime's kind of weird here. Still 5-on-5, but the timing's weird. Overtime, 8 minutes. Not sure where they get that 8 minutes from, but there it was. No one scored. Going into second overtime. Take a little bit longer of a break this time, resurface the ice, and then another odd time, 17-minute double overtime. Not really sure why, but that's what it was. But then with about 6 minutes, 24 seconds left, we score and win the game in double overtime. And the place goes absolutely nuts. Now, even though Minnetonka is in the Twin Cities, it's one of the suburbs on the west side of Minneapolis. Moorhead travels well. There was a lot of black and orange in the stands. And you could hear it even from my phone, the low quality audio. You could hear the place erupt once that goal was scored. The guy who scored the goal, Evan Warner, throws his helmet into the stands. A kid catches it, and I know he takes a picture with it. But then you have the great celebration. Team captain gets a trophy. Everyone on the team, including coaches, gets a gold medal. And it's just been great. We've had a good team for a few years. Won the state championship last year. But this, I think, was the first back-to-back winner in about 10 years. Edina won it back-to-back about 10 years ago, and that seems to be the team that's everyone's rival. You know, it's one of those things of where if we don't win, as long as Edina doesn't win, then we're happy. But we won, and I've got the shirts. Picked up my merch yesterday, back-to-back state champs, and it's been awesome. So I wanted to take that opportunity to show off some hockey cards. Rather, in this case, just one. Just one hockey card for my collection, and a card I'll refer to as the weirdest card I own. just because of the piece of memorabilia attached to it. It is of someone with a little bit of a local connection, defenseman Shea Genoway, who played his college hockey at the University of North Dakota. Now, even though we live in Moorhead, Minnesota, we're right across the river from Fargo, North Dakota. So if you want to think of, I don't know, Kansas City, Kansas, Kansas City, Missouri, two states just with the river in the middle, but it's essentially one city just with a state border. It's like that, but on a smaller scale. But University of North Dakota is in Grand Forks, North Dakota, which is about an hour, 15-minute drive north of us. So it's really not that far, all things considered. But Shea Genoway was a defenseman for the team and did pretty well with the team. He set the school record for points by defenseman with 127 points in 168 games. Had a few other UND or team accomplishments for defensemen at his position. So tied for second all time with the University of North Dakota for game-winning goals with 7. Fourth in power play goals by a defenseman with 14. Fifth in assists by a defenseman with 101. Seventh in goals by a defenseman with 26. So he did pretty well, but went undrafted. Signed with our, I guess, as much of a local NHL team as we have with the Minnesota Wild. It's in our state, but it's still about a 3.5-hour drive from us. So some distance, but Minnesota's Minnesota, so it was great. Signs with the team, spends most of the 2011-2012 season with their AHL affiliate at the time, the Houston Aeros, who have since moved to Iowa and become the Iowa Wild, but they were the Houston Aeros at the time. I did pretty well with the team. 7 goals, 36 points. I would make his NHL debut that season with the Wild in April 7th, 2012, against the Phoenix Coyotes. He ended up getting an assist in that game, but that would prove to be his only NHL game, as he was soon sent down for the rest of the season. Played another half year with the Houston Aeros before being traded to the Washington Capitals for a conditional 7th-round pick. Now, I don't always understand the currency of draft picks and the strategy behind trades. I'm not sure if when you're traded for future considerations or a conditional draft pick in the last round of the draft, if that's them just trying to unload a salary, not that he was making a ton of money anyways, or trying to free up space. Maybe the other team needed a prospective defenseman, or maybe they just had a hole in defense in the AHL team that they needed to fill. I don't know. But he would spend half a season with the Capitals AHL team. I believe it's the Hershey Bears. And then would become a free agent after that. Chose not to re-sign with the team. Kind of test the water, see what else was out there. Ended up signing with a team in the KHL, which is a Russia-based league. And still is playing pro hockey, but has been kind of bouncing around from between different European leagues since then. He's currently with the EC Red Bull Salzburg of the ICE Hockey League. ICE, well, yeah, it's a hockey-related acronym. It stands for the International Central European League. It's mostly based in Austria, but has teams in a few surrounding countries. But, you know, pro hockey is pro hockey, whether you're in the States, whether it's a Canadian league, whether it's a European league, Russian league, you're still getting paid to play hockey. So he's still doing pretty well for himself, and was also a part of Canada's 2018 Winter Olympic team that would win the bronze medal. So he is a Olympic bronze medalist, which is really cool. But anyways, the card I have of him that I'm going to show is from my time of ripping wax. I guess that's what you call it, even though it's not wax anymore. Got really heavy into it, especially with hockey, from about 2011 to 2014, 15, somewhere around there. But I was buying a lot of unopened packs and got into some higher end stuff, especially with Panini. I loved Panini's product back then. Colors were always great. They always had some good memorabilia cards. Autographs were always done in a way that really pops off of the card. So a lot of their stuff looks great. But this particular card comes from Panini Prime, the 2012 to 13 year, which was the year that featured his rookie cards. And it was really it would be the only year that would feature his cards, because he just had the one game. But the card I pulled was a redemption. Now, in most cases, redemptions are included in packs to provide a substitute temporarily for an autographed card that they were not able to fulfill at the time that they were putting the product together. The idea being is that they'll get the card eventually, the autograph eventually, but for now they'll put the redemption in there, and then if you pull that redemption, then when they receive that autographed card, then they will mail it to you. Now, this is a rare instance of a redemption being a non-autographed card. And the reason being is because these cards were too big to be included into packs. And that is because the memorabilia they feature is the tie from the neck piece of a jersey. So it's going to provide lacing, the rivets, and everything. And it really, it just fit. Well, here's a look at the side view of it. Right there, it comes in that big jewel case. As you can see, there's more memorabilia than there is card. But it's one of one, as obviously you'd only have one of these on each jersey. I guess you could, in theory, have multiple jerseys, do multiple ties, but in this case, it was a big enough of a memorabilia piece to only want to do one of them, and I've got it. You can see lots of lacing there. Got the rivets on the side, 6 of them, 3 on this side, 3 on the other. Lots of lacing, which is cool. I don't know if that was how he tied it or how the company did it just to kind of keep things together for the purpose of the card. Now, obviously, being Panini, and they were the ones who kind of, I guess you could say, spearheaded the movement of event-worn memorabilia, which is basically they'd have their big rookie summit or rookie gathering where they pull the rookie. They did it, I know, in football too. They'd get all the rookies together for like photo shoots and get them to sign their autographs and all this stuff there. That's where they'd also get their event worn stuff, where they'd hand, each rookie a stack of 10, 15, 20 jerseys. And then they'd throw them on for a few seconds and take them off. And then technically that player has worn that jersey. So no, there's no way this was ever in a game. Now, yeah, it was of the team he played for in his only NHL game, but I have no doubt that this was that photo shoot thing. Yeah. It says enclosed event worn. It doesn't even allude to it. It says event worn. We know what it is, but it still doesn't prevent it from being a really cool looking card. It is one that I'm able to kind of put up on a shelf without even having a stand behind it to hold it up, because the case just stands up on its own. But it looks really cool. The tie, the way they position the tie, does cover up the player image right there. But I kind of like to leave it how it is. Now, the one thing that I do and don't like about this card is that, as I said, in the middle of that 2012-13 season, he was traded from the Minnesota Wild organization to the Washington Capitals organization. Now, even though the picture features him in his one NHL game, I do like that it is the same jersey on the picture as it is of the material. That's pretty cool. But as you turn it around, you'll see that this denotes him as a member of the Washington Capitals, which to me is unnecessary. I mean, I guess technically when they're producing the card, he's with the team, but I mean, the memorabilia is obviously of him on the Wild. The pictures of him on the Wild. Just say that he's a member of the Wild. At least the colors work. Now, while the jersey featured and the jersey on the picture don't contain a lot of red, red is one of the Minnesota Wild's secondary colors. So it works. It's not as glaringly obvious as if they use like yellow or blue or black or something like that. So it still works. And you really only notice that it is a Capitals card. I guess you do have a tiny, tiny, tiny logo. But I always forget that that's even there. And then it has the big logo on the back. Also, there's that one of one stamp there. But it's a pretty cool card that I have in my collection. I don't know how much of a place it has, though. I do like the Minnesota Wild. As far as teams go, obviously I'm a big Pittsburgh Penguins fan. That's my team. That's been my team since 1991, 92, somewhere around there when I started following hockey to begin with. But you could say that the Wild would be, I guess, a secondary team of mine that I like. It's our local team. As much as a local team can be local, that's 3.5 hours away from you. I guess it's the same state, so we'll count it. But, you know, it's a player who had a pretty unremarkable NHL career. I've looked into, you know, maybe selling it and turning it into something else, but I mean, the time to do that would have been back when it was pulled. So it might just be a kind of a card that I kind of hold in my collection, and I'll display it here and there. Look at it every now and then. It's cool to have one just to say that I have one. They maybe did 20 to 30 of these total between all the players that they use. So it's a very, very unique card. If I were to get rid of this, I don't know that there's a scenario that I'd ever have another one like it again. So maybe it's kind of one you keep just in case you decide you want to display it somewhere. But I'm happy to have it. I'm happy to say that I pulled it from a pack, and it is ironic. I know I bought two of these, two boxes of Panini Prime. I bought one from my local card shop at Fargo, North Dakota, and then there was one that I ordered from another card shop or an online distributor, and I'm not sure if this came from the one that I ordered online or came from the local card shop. Anyways, either way, it is ironic that wherever the box came from, it was opened up just less than 100 miles south of where he went to college. So that's kind of a cool designation. But I'm happy to have it in the collection. It's kind of a unique show-off item every now and then to kind of take out and, you know, show people, hey, I bet you don't have one of these. But that's it for now. Just going to feature the one card today. Got more coming up soon. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you then.